one of the basics that we have on here is not only the best football players that come through, which you already told us, the best running backs, then you being recognized as the best athlete that comes in East Chicago, but basketball. I want to get your opinion on. Give me your starting five in basketball, and it could be through any era or any school in East Chicago's history.
You know, Carl, just from my own remembrance, no question about it, Jim Bradley was probably the best to ever come out of the Midwest, let alone East Chicago school. Matt Jokes, Junior Bridgman, Floyd Williams, David Jefferson was pretty good. Here again, some athletes I just can't think off the top of my head, but in my era, those guys were outstanding. Donnell Adale, Reuben Bailey, best guard combination to ever play in this city. As far as a true point guard, Kevin Aguirre. That's when point guards weren't even considered a point guard. I can say Bradley, Paul Ford, Smalls Ford, Junior Bridgman, and without a question, and I rank him right up here with Jim Bradley's Drake Morris. I don't know how I could forget about Drake. Drake was a beast, man-child. Couldn't beat him in no kind of way. Drake wouldn't bag down from a tractor trailer. Excellent athlete. And if you didn't bring your A-plus game, he embarrassed you. But here again, we go back to Bradley. Record speak for itself. Here's a man that lost 2 games in 4 years. And if Matt Jokes don't get hurt, chances are we might have won state that year. So, best shooting guard, no question about it, Floyd Rip Williams. Shoot your eyes out. Floyd almost beat us in 70 by himself. So, and he went on to Northern. He excelled well in Northern. But he may have been the best shooting guard to come out of the city. Another guy that probably was a power forward that I don't know if people gave him the recognition that he deserved was Judah Parks. You know, they used to say Judah shoot a lot, but Judah scored a lot of points. And Judah was a big athlete. He was between a small forward and a shooting guard. Except for that. And I think what a lot of people miss, do you know Judah was probably one of the best wide receivers to come out of East Chicago? Wow. Judah was a hell of a football player and could bat both ways on the baseball field. Switch it. Wow. So, you know, and that's what I'm saying when you're talking about athletes, he was an athlete. He's an athlete. So, that's interesting.
Now you name Jim Bradley's power forward. How about center?
John Davis was in between a center and a forward. And he was one of the first big men that could shoot that 15, 20-foot jumper. Outstanding. Outstanding. And I'm talking about in my era. I think since then, we have not had a real dominant big man in East Chicago that I can think of. It's hard for me to come up with a real big center from East Chicago, and I'm quite sure there are some. I just can't think of any at this moment.
Okay, so basically, we just use Jim Bradley. That's power forward, center type deal.
Mm-hmm. Point guard or shooting guard. He could be the best of all 3 positions.
Wow. What kind of advice can you give to athletes today?
I'm gonna tell you something. The rules, the attitude, and the fortitude hasn't changed. You got to dedicate yourself. You got to be willing to work. You got to be willing to sacrifice. You got to be willing to listen. And you got to be willing to go that extra mile. Just when you think you tired and you can't go another inch and you want to quit, that's when you push it another level. You got to listen. You got to you got to work at it when somebody's not telling you to go out and practice. I mean, Jordan had the same thing. People, when they say he loved the game, it wasn't so much he loved the game. He loved the game to the point that he did everything he had to do to make himself better. You can't reach your own press clippers. You can't let people fill your head with all these negatives. I mean, you got to play within yourself and just do what you have to do to excel and love the game. Athletes now have went away from certain things that make you an athlete. Coaches can't tell them nothing now. They watch a lot of stuff on TV, but it's the basic in every sport. In football, you better learn how to run, you know how to block, you know how to catch. Basketball, you better learn how to dribble, you know how to pass, you better know how to guard. In baseball, you better know how to throw, you know how to run. You got the basic things you work at. And if you do that and you do it well, you're going to be all right.
Okay, what is one model that Duke Florence does like?
And I go back again to one of my coaches' adage. There's two kind of athletes: those that can and those that can't. And I apply it to my everyday life. Two kind of people: those that can and those that can't. And I look at myself as one that can and one that will. And I extend myself. If I can help, you got it free. I don't try to hurt nothing. I'm a progressive type person. And I have no problem with reaching back to go forward.
Uncle Duke, I want to thank you for being on the website. It's been a pleasure interviewing you. My goal is I want to get all the great legends, East Chicago Roosevelt together. Yourself, Uncle Rob, Bill Knox, all you guys at the round table. Just go over some more history with you guys in the future. So I want to thank you for being on the website.
Carl, it's truly an honor. That opportunity, I hope one day presents itself, because that's something monumental. I mean, just you talking about a round table with the history, the athletes that came out of this city. If you got 25% of them together at one time, you got one good documentary. You truly got a documentary, because this city is still full of athletic history.
Athlete Lives Network, once an athlete, always an athlete.
That's true.